Whenever the church started doing the online giving and the giving by debit card, I guess that's when we started really tithing when we should, on a regular basis. Before that, we never either had cash or check. I mean, I do everything by debit card or online. So we really weren't consistent with our tithing. But when the church started doing that, we really got to give on a weekly basis. And it really just kind of started everything right there. And we really got to see kind of the fruits that come from tithing.
Since we started tithing every Sunday, making it a point, we have just seen Him work in our lives tremendously. First of all, we had to pay for my school out of pocket. I couldn't get financial aid, and we've had people help in the past. When I was working, my boss would front the money and I'd pay him back, but that all ended, and so we had to come up with the money to pay for school ourselves. I went to Ireland over the summer, so we also had to come up with the money for that, and that was $3,500 just to go on the trip. And I needed extra cash, while I was there to pay for meals and all of that. And then as all this is like coming up, I lost my job in January, which was totally unexpected. So we definitely had some bumps along the road.
What we had been using for the majority of that was when we rent our house out for masters, we'd use that for about a semester's worth of tuition. So that was about half the year. And we had to come up with the rest somehow, and we would use savings or whatever else we could to pay for it. But I'd had some money set aside that my dad was kind of investing for us, and he was able to make a very large sum of money investing for us. That was a shock, and that paid for about one semester, and then that pretty much left Ireland, and we hadn't heard anything as far as the rental of our house, and it was getting kind of late. And I mean, we had talked to her, and she was like, well, don't know if it's going to happen this year. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that aren't getting rented and this, that, and the other. And then so we're kind of discouraged, but we just kept trusting and kept calling back to check on her. And then she finally called back and was like, hey, I've got somebody. And it actually came back, they rented it more than what it rented for the previous year. And so not only did we get it rented, but we got more money. We had enough money to cover her trip to Ireland and paid for it. And so I mean, all of our needs were met. And then just randomly throughout, I mean, just the last couple of months and weeks, is we'll have just people give us money or give us gift cards. I'll have customers come in and give me a gift card to a restaurant, just for nothing. And we'll have other people just give us cash, and just blessing us, and just, I guess, the favor of God just pouring out on us. Our neighborhood come with a special assessment, and that was about $1,200. So even more money we got to come up with.
Wow. Yeah. It was really scary at first, and we just didn't know how we were going to come up with the money, and we had made a decision to do it on our own, not ask anybody else for help.
When we got the news of the assessment, it was a shock. $1,200 is a lot, and we didn't have it. So we argued a lot over it, and we were just kind of freaking out of how we're going to pay this. We were deciding, I mean, we're going to do it on our own. We're not going to go for help. We're not going to do anything. I guess we just decided to trust God. And we're tithers, and I mean, we're diligent with that. And when, His word is what it is, and He promised He's going to take care of us.
I just told Jeremy, like, God has provided so much for us. Like, it's just silly for us not to trust Him. And I mean, we've seen it time and time again, and we have numerous examples. So I just told him, like, He's going to provide. He's going to provide this. He provided all these other things. He's going to provide this too. And I was like, look, we got to stop arguing about this. We got to stop stressing about this. We just need to pray about it and then trust God. So that's what we did. We sat down and we talked to God about it, and just told Him, like, we're trusting You, just kind of reminding ourselves too where our trust is. And I was talking to one of my friends, and I had pulled up to the gas station, which was next door to my work, and she was like, well, you need to come over and say hi, you know. And so I went over there and I was talking to her, and then my boss, or former boss, came in and was like, when you're done talking, I need to talk to you. And I was just like, okay, it was kind of weird. But I went in there and I talked with him, and he said, I have some money for you that's yours. And I was just like, okay. He's like, I forgot to give it to you. And he told me he had a profit sharing plan for us, and that I'd been paying into it, you know, while working there. Then he told me how much. He told me it was I would get $2,600 to take home with me. And I was in shock, kind of. I just didn't expect it to come so soon, and immediately when he said that, I just wanted to laugh, because I knew that it was God.
That's why, one of the main reasons we tithe. I mean, one is what we're supposed to do, and two, I mean, he's gonna look after us. He's gonna provide for us.
I mean, I used to watch the tithing videos where people would say the stuff that kind of we're saying now, and I'd be like, oh, well, maybe that works for you, but you know, I'll try it. We'll see. That kind of used to be my attitude, but it really does. I don't know how he does it, but he really just stretches your money when you're faithful to tithe, and we've seen it, and there's no other way that it can work out like this. I mean, it's impossible. It has to be God. These things, there's just no other way they could happen. Really, it's amazing.